Hello and welcome to this next video on in the mobile repairing series. So far we've learned a lot about the tools that are used in mobile repairing. In this video, we will try and understand a little more about a basic mobile phone. The phone that you see in front of you is a simple feature phone which is used in many parts of the world. This is very commonly used for making calls. It's also used to send SMS messages to other people. You can also listen to songs, play videos in this simple mobile phone. In this video, we will try and understand the parts of this mobile phone, both the external parts as well as the internal parts. We'll also try and understand how to use this mobile phone. We'll also learn about where to connect the charger and where to connect the batteries, or where to place the batteries or place the SIM, and how to connect the earphone. Let's try and understand this handset in detail a little more now. Now this is the front portion of the mobile, and in the front portion of the mobile you will see different parts. The first and foremost, you will see a blank screen type of thing there. This is the display part of the mobile phone. This is a 2.5-inch TFT display panel here. This is where you will be able to see whatever is being shown by the mobile. It could be messages, it should be games. So anything that you view will be shown here. Right above that is the earpiece or the speakers. The speakers are behind this. You need to place this part near your ear for you to be able to listen to what other people are saying. Now this is how you listen to voices or songs when they are played through the mobile phone itself. So this is called the earpiece. Now apart from listening to voice, you may also need to be speaking. So your voice needs to get to the other end, and for that you will need a mic. This is the place where the mic is placed inside. The mic or the mouthpiece is through which your voice is taken in by the mobile phone and transmitted through mobile networks to the receiver of your phone call. Now underneath the display is where you will see the keypad. The keypad is where the keypad is what you use to key in numbers that you're dialing, or to type in messages if you want to send messages to your friends or relatives. And you can see the numbers and characters written there. Apart from these, there are two other keys that you need to know. The red key is what switches on the mobile phone or switches off the mobile phone. It also is used to disconnect calls or to turn off any application that you are using. The green switch is what is used to accept any incoming calls that are coming to you, or is used to dial out numbers when you are calling someone else. Apart from these, you'll also see two smaller buttons on top which are used for menu or to select a few other applications through these ones. In the center, you will see the OK button, which is used to accept any changes that you have made or to accept any of the inputs that you are giving into the mobile phone. Apart from that, there are these sliding buttons there which you can press left, right, up and down to move your cursor left, right, up or down when you're typing in messages or when you're playing games on your mobile phones. So these are the things that you will see in the front part of a mobile phone. Now let's try and understand where we have the charging connector. On the sides, if you notice properly, you will see a small slot on one side of the phone, which is where the charging connector is located. It is covered by a small rubber-like substance. So you can slightly push it out or pull it out using your fingers, and you will be able to clearly see the charging point. This is where you connect the charger whenever you are connecting the phone or whenever you want to charge the phone. This connector is also used to connect to a headphone in this mobile phone. So this is also a headphone connector through which you can actually listen to songs or even make conversations with your friends or relatives. Now the cover is kept to ensure that the connecting point is protected from dust or humidity at any point in time. So it's important to keep the cover closed at all points of time whenever it is not being used. Now moving on, let's try and look at the back side of a mobile phone and try and understand what parts exist on the back side. Now this is the back cover of a mobile phone. The back cover can be opened in very different ways in different mobile phones. Some mobile phones you can slide it out. Some mobile phones you will have specific points called depressions where you can put your fingernail and actually grab open the cover. Some mobile phones you may need to slide it open. So depending on the mobile, you need to be very careful, see where the opening part is and use that gently to open the mobile phone. In this mobile, there's a slight depression here. So we're placing our fingernail there and slightly pushing it up. Now remember, if you press it too hard, the cover can break. The mobile phone can slip out of your hand and can fall on the ground and break. So you need to be very gentle while you're trying to open the back cover of any mobile phone. Once you open the cover, you will see that the battery is placed inside here. This is the battery that powers the entire mobile phone. To remove the battery, again there is a specific depression given there. Place your finger there and slightly push it out. The battery will come out of the holder position. Inside you will see the battery connector position. This is where the battery is connected to the mobile phone through which the power is transmitted to the mobile. There is a plus and minus point there. And there is a SIM card location there where the SIM card needs to be placed. Now to slide the SIM card out, you can place your finger there, press it lightly and push it out. And to place it back in, you need to press it lightly and then slide the SIM card back into its holder. While you're placing the SIM, you need to ensure that you're placing it in the right direction. Many a times, if you place the SIM incorrectly, it may not work. So you have to look for that symbol. As you can see here, the direction in which the SIM needs to be placed is clearly shown there. So accordingly, you need to place the SIM and slide it gently into the SIM holder. That way, you will ensure that you are placing it in the right position, the connectors are in the right position, and the phone will be able to make or receive calls. So handle the SIM very carefully while you are placing it or while you are removing it from the SIM holder. Now, even the battery needs to be kept placed in the right position. Placing it in the improper position might result in damage to the battery as well as to the mobile phone. So you need to match the connectors with the battery connecting points. If you see the battery closely, you will be able to see a plus and negative, minus connecting point on the battery. So you need to ensure that you align it right with the mobile phone. And these points need to be placed exactly in the same position. So as you see it here, you need to align it with the connecting points in the mobile phone, place it gently and push it in, and the mobile battery fits into its position. Now, apart from these in the mobile phone, you may also see a lot of small holes there where the screws are placed. These are the screws that need to be removed whenever you need to repair your mobile phone. We will learn a lot about these in future videos. Apart from these, there are also smaller slots that are placed there, which are essentially used to connect antennas, etc. So these are network sockets which can be used to additionally connect external antennas in order to boost your mobile signal. Let's close the back cover now and let's try and understand how we need to operate. So lock it tightly and let's move on and try and understand how we can use the internal aspects of a mobile phone. And switch it on with the red button. You need to press the red button continuously for a few seconds for the mobile to switch on. And now the mobile is switching on now. As soon as you switch on the mobile, most feature phones will ask you to set the date and time. This is because feature phones don't usually have a battery inside that will save the date and time forever. And that's one of the reasons why you need to set the date and time in mobile phones. So it will ask you whether you want to reset the date and time, specifically because you've removed the battery now. Now you may decide to set it now by pressing the yes button, by pressing the top button there. Now this is where you will be able to set the time here. To set the time, you can dial in the respective number using the number keypad or numeric keypad given below. So for example, if we need to type in 5:30 p.m., so we type in 05 followed by 30, and immediately after that, you press the, you will see the, press the center button and you will be able to change it to PM. Once you change it to PM, you can also choose the date. So you can type in the date here using the numeric keypad. So this is 11/07 and then type in the specific date that you want to enter in. And once you enter the date, you can press the save button. So now the date is set. So now you press the save button and the date is saved now. And you can see that the date is very clearly set there. So we need to use a combination of the numbers and the menu and the OK button on top to be able to set the date exactly as we want it. And now you will be able to see the exact date, time and the date and the day of the week clearly. So it's 5:30 p.m. on 11 July, which is a Thursday. So once this is set, this will not change unless you remove the battery from the mobile phone. Now there are two options here. There's menu and contacts. So when you need to look at contacts of who are the people that you have as in your contact list, you can press the contacts button, which is the right hand side button on the top, or you can go to the menu option and try and look at the other options. The first and foremost is the messages option. You click on messages, you will be able to create a message here, or you can check what are the messages that you have received by going into the inbox option there. So you can also look at what messages you have sent to other people using the sent box option. Any messages that you are sending but still has not gone out of your inbox or out of your sent box is kept in the outbox folder. And finally, any messages that you want to send in future, don't want to send it now, will be in the drafts portion. Apart from that, you can set the alarm here by choosing this option. You will see multiple alarms. You can actually place multiple alarms. The number of alarms that you can set on each mobile phone is dependent on your mobile phone. For example, when we want to set an alarm, we go ahead and choose the alarm activation and select it as on or off. So we want to switch on the alarm, then type in the timing of it. So you type in as 0600 AM if you want to set the alarm at 6 in the morning. Set it there. So we've placed it at 6 AM and then we press the save button. This alarm gets saved for 6 AM. So this is a very simple way to set alarms. You can have multiple alarms as well. Apart from this, there is a settings option there. Settings is where you'll be able to change the basic settings of your mobile phone, such as display, time, date, phone options, call options, ringtone options, and so on. Profiles is where you will be able to understand what profile the phone will have. Is it a normal profile? You want to put it on silent mode when you don't want the phone to ring. You want to put it in a meeting mode where it will be very discreet. So you can choose the different profiles by going into the profile option and you can go ahead and save. In the profiles option, you'll also be able to change the ringtone for each profile as well as the alert types for each profile. Moving on, we'll also understand calendar. Calendar shows you the entire calendar for the month. It'll also show you the week date on top, which is W28 now. You can move forward, backward and try and look at the entire calendar in detail using the calendar option. Apart from that, you will also be able to access your contact list by going into the contacts option here. The list of people who are in your contacts. You can create new contacts using this option. You can save some of the contacts as your favorites. Moving on, you have a call log, which is what will give you information about the calls that you have received, the calls that you have made, people who have called you but you have not been able to receive their calls, which are otherwise called missed calls, dialed calls, and so on. This is a very efficient tool for you to be able to understand who is calling or whom you have called and how much time you have spent on the mobile phone. Apart from these mobile phones, you also have games options. You can choose different types of games, go in and play these games using the keyboard that is given to you in the mobile phone. Once we move out, we will be able to also look at applications. Applications are effective tools that you can use, such as calculator to add, subtract, and any of those mathematical numbers, mathematical calculations. You also have a light option. Switch on the light and you would be able to turn on the torchlight option. And these are effective small applications that will be very useful on a day-to-day basis. So you can see how the torchlight is switched on now. You'll be able to use this in dark areas. It uses an LED to light this up. You can switch it off using the keypad options there. Now there are other shortcut key options as well. You can define these shortcut keys. For example, in this mobile, we have placed one of the keys. When you press the up arrow, you will be able to switch on the torchlight. So you can actually set shortcut keys for several of your applications, depending on which application you use very commonly. In this case, we use the up arrow key to switch on or switch off the torchlight. And these can be set using your settings option. Now, these are some of the common features that you will use while you're working on a mobile phone. And when you're repairing mobile phones, these are some of the common problems or areas where you will receive common complaints from customers. Hence, it's important to understand how the mobile phone works and what are some of the features in these mobile phones, so that you can effectively rectify the problems in these mobile phones. Going forward, we'll understand different types of mobile phones. Thank you very much.